Hi, good afternoon. I'm Marietta Hannigan, and I adore being a puppy raiser. I've had two puppies previously. Cece will be my third placement, and I'm currently raising a fourth puppy, Yosemite. Let me tell you about being a puppy raiser. I'm a teacher, a wife, and a mother of four. When my kids were growing up, we had a busy house. My husband and I both worked full time, and the kids kept us busy with every kind of pet. We had hamsters, lizards, a horse, a snake, cats, and of course, in the middle of it all was a dog. Well, the four kids grew up, and the pets did what old pets do, and somehow we had an empty house. I decided to ask my school if I could raise a puppy with my students as a service project. Turns out I can be quite persuasive because the school said yes. Well, that year I happened to be teaching fourth grade, and the students loved the idea. Well, I did the paperwork. The fourth grade students researched service dogs and the people who have them. In anticipation of the puppy, I had them all running around practicing proper poop pickup with poop bags and erasers. I remember when the first puppy finally came and DJ had his first cleanup, he grabbed the bag and he went, and he went, and he did it. It was a great learning experience. I had loads of fun with that first puppy in that class. One morning, I had both the trainer coming to school to work with the puppy and my students, and we also had scheduled a fire drill. So my plan for this fake fire drill was to remind the students that in case of a home fire, get yourself out and let the firefighters save the pets. Of course, if it had been a canine companion dog, I would have fought the flames myself. But for the sake of the lessons, the alarm went off, and we went out and left the pup in her pen. The students marched outside to the waiting firefighters, where I made my plea in front of the whole student body, "Save our puppy!" The wonderful heroes charged in and didn't come out, and didn't come out. And finally, one guy came out and said, "Do you have a key to that room?" And I said, "Yeah, no." Well, it turned out no one had a key to that room. So I had to leave my class with the puppy raiser and no puppy. Well, I went back in and waved through the glass in the door at the puppy in the pen, and the firefighters removed the classroom door from the hinges. With loads of fun experiences and tons of love, we turned Hope the puppy in for advanced training. She was a star. 6 months later, we got the call that Hope had been matched. I was delighted to hear that our dog had made it, and I came up for graduation. I was excited to meet her match, Dylan, and his mom, Nancy. They're wonderful people. But within minutes of meeting, Honest Nancy shared with me that when she was told the puppy raiser was coming, she was dumbfounded. She said for the first time she thought, well, I guess the puppies must have been someplace for the past 2 years. But with all she had on her plate, she hadn't had time to think about where. Well, we became fast friends. And when I returned to school, now teaching in a first grade classroom, I told the class about the dog and his happy home. We became pen pals. The first graders wrote loads of letters to the dog, and they wrote back, but this was my favorite question and answer. We wrote and asked, does Hope sleep on Dylan at night? She wrote back to say, she did, but we bought another twin bed in because Dylan was not sleeping well with the dog on him. So now she sleeps under a blanket with her head on a pillow pet. Her pillow pet is Wally from the Red Sox. Well, clearly this was a fabulous idea to have a dog at school. So next came Tyrone. He was a star, but never more so than the day I took my class to music to return to find that puppy Tyrone had grown just enough to reach from his pen onto my desk. His first theft was the report cards, which he had promptly shredded. The kids screamed in delight, and I had to laugh at the pandemonium. My favorite Tyrone Day, though, was when I had a call that President Obama wanted service organizations for his second inaugural parade. The canine companions wanted to know if Tyrone and I wanted to be in the inaugural parade. Yeah! On the day of the parade, canine companion dogs and their people went down to Washington, and we met outside the city in a park. They dressed us in these bright yellow slickers and loaded us onto school buses. To get to the parade, the buses had to go through security. kind of like airport security on steroids. We were in a half-mile long line of buses with literally an army of soldiers with guns and metal detectors to check the thousands of parade participants. It was all hyper-official until our bus hit the checkpoint and you heard the message release, "Puppies!" Suddenly, all the soldiers wanted to check our bus. The crack security team melted and went to the ground to love the puppies. So if you want to defeat the best soldiers in the world, put down the weapons and bring in the puppies. Our next puppy was Cecily. The kids at school were between Cecily, Cicely. I ended the drama and said, we're calling her Cece. But because I was now teaching kindergarten, when I was asked how we'd spell it, I replied, we're going to spell it C-C. She's a fabulous puppy in so many ways, but mostly she's affectionate. It seemed a shame to neuter her because she would have been a fabulous mother. Not only did I think so, but Cece thought so too. She wanted a baby in the worst way. Whenever we would walk and she'd see a cat, she'd ask with her big puppy eyes, couldn't I have one? I tried to explain that cats are more fun to see and not so much fun up close, but Cece wanted a kitten. Then I heard of a feral kitten that had been found and dropped at a farm. The farmer was not thrilled and wanted this kitten rehomed. So I brought him home and named him Muggsy. It was love at first sight. Cece took such good care of that kitten that they often napped side by side in front of the fireplace. On turning day, for Cece, I was a tad sad. But Katrina had a pup that had been brought back when a puppy raiser's plan for puppy daycare had fallen through. Katrina was looking for a new puppy raiser for Yosemite. I held him. He was so sweet that I convinced my husband, John, that we should immediately jump back in the pool and bring Yosemite home on the very day we turned Cece in. John, the best husband in the world, agreed. He then headed to the men's room before our long drive back to Haddonfield. Into the men's room came two additional fellas. The first guy said, "Did you see Katrina out there shamelessly pimping out that puppy?" The second guy said, "Yeah, I think some sucker took it." To which my husband replied, "Yeah, that sucker'd be me." They all laughed and swore that if we hadn't taken Yosemite, they would have. In sum, being a puppy raiser is a gift. We want to express our thanks to all of you for inviting us on this journey. Thanks to CCI for breeding and sharing the most intelligent balls of fluff on the planet. Thanks to organizations like Haddonfield Friends School, who live the mission of service. Thanks to the students and all the individuals who help puppy raisers along the way. But the greatest thanks goes to the individuals receiving their puppy companions. We admire your strength and your courage, and we deeply care about your struggles. We hope we have contributed in some small way to facilitate a change. Could I ask we raise these puppies hoping they would be matched with you. Could I ask everyone who's raised a puppy to stand now and applaud the new teams about to embark on a great new chapter in their journey? Thank you.